Fire away, Petey.
All right, Craig. So this is the hottest topic I've seen. Basically, in 2025, this agentic AI was at its peak.
Right.
And the buzz about it and like the vast majority of enterprise agentic pilots kind of fail to deliver on that ROI
So far.
so far. And what do you think is the gap between that hype and the reality?
Yeah, this happens all the time. It's kind of like the same thing when ChatGPT and generative AI dropped. I want to go back to every single one of our competitors' websites, go to the Wayback Machine, Internet Archives, take a screenshot of their homepages the day before that hit, and then take a screenshot of the homepage a week later. Overnight, everyone said they could do it. Everyone said they were masters at it. Everyone said they've been doing it forever. Complete BS, right? But just huge sizzle, marketing, hype, talk, fluff. Yeah, and so then similar, let's fast forward to Agentic. Same thing. Agentic's going to be hot. It's going to do everything. You don't have to do anything. Don't need all these agents. Your support's going to be so much better. Sales is going to be so much better. And then companies, you're a big enterprise. You hear this pitch, you talk to some slick sales guy, and then you try to deploy it, and it doesn't work. And not only does it not work, you're not getting any ROI. You're not letting, you still have all the same support people you've had before. If it's not done perfectly right, it turns into a perpetual frustration engine for people who are stuck in it. So what was supposed to make this seamless experience of answer a phone on the first ring, solve every question agentically, 24/7, never need a human, happy customers, it was way too much hype. People were talking about it being so excellent to do those things way before they had the ability to do it. So I think it's just like anything. It will get there.
Yeah, it wasn't ready
But
yet.
it's just wasn't ready yet. And that doesn't slow down anyone who's raised a bunch of money, who's then going out on this big hype cycle to raise more money. But it was way too early to have it be real then. It's starting to be pretty real now.
Yeah, it seemed magical at first, and that was just going to magically work with no extra stuff but ChatGPT.
Right. All you had to do.
And it turns out, of course, like most things in tech, it's not always what it looks like right away. It's not always easy.
Yeah, and to take something from like a concept of what could be cool and then put it with a real customer with real volumes at scale, that it has to work and be pretty perfect all the time. Otherwise, it causes big problems. If you get it wrong, it's kind of like that scene out of I Love Lucy when she's like on like the chocolate conveyor belt machine and it's going too fast and she can't, pack the box and she's trying to eat them and shove them in her hat and stuff. It's like that.
That's the opening scene, right?
If you get it wrong, it's just this machine of perpetual wrongness that'll just keep being wrong. So I think the standards of excellence are so high and the expectations of excellence are so high, and the quality of what people were able to deliver, and particularly like, this is new to your company or you're a new startup. Like, it's great that you could convince someone to try, but it leads to a lot of disappointment if you don't get it right. I don't know about you, but the number of emails I get every week of some formerly funded startup that now is looking to get acquired because they couldn't get beyond, the beginning, and they have like 1 or 2 million of revenue. And I think you hear these stories of, we just got to $1 billion of revenue in 3 years. We're growing 400% year over year. Those are such the exception. And literally, I get 3 emails a week of, hey, we're going through a process, looking to get acquired. We got this great technology. Like by the end of next year, we'll have $1 million of ARR. You got to be able to separate the hype from the reality.
Well, a lot of them right now, they say that, and it's not true either.
Yeah, that's not even true.
They claim it, or they obviously, fudge the truth a little bit.
The reality is, though, there's going to be low-hanging fruit opportunities, particularly in the customer service arena or in the sales outreach arena or responding to a lead type of, use cases where a lot of it is going to be able to be handled agentically. And then all those good things will happen. It'll be available 24/7. It'll feel very human. You can do it via text. You can do it via phone call. And then if it can't fix your problem, then it goes seamlessly to a human. And if you can do that and just start chunking away at those easiest use cases to fix, and then all of a sudden your support volume is
So agentic AI is not going to replace
not going to
everyone?
replace everybody. It's going to replace some.
Yeah.
It's going to replace some. Would you want to be working in a support call center and literally be resetting passwords all day long? That would drive you insane. So the good news is
getting your tracking information.
let me look that up
for
for
the
you.
1,000th time that week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what time's my flight land? Those types of questions. Like these things will go away. I had full knee replacement. Trying to schedule a surgery is nearly impossible. And the crazy thing is, it's actually important because you're not going to be able to walk for the next 2 weeks. So you got to really, really plan it and get it right. I call the medical center. There's 9 doctors. Pick from an IVR, one of them, and mine was like number 4. It's like, okay, for Dr. Cohen's PA, press 2 for the scheduler. It goes straight to her voicemail. And so then hey, I need to schedule surgery. My name's Craig Walker here. Call me back at this number.
Their most important job is to get you scheduled. The most important job.
Most important job. They make $4,000 an hour when that operation is happening. So she calls me back a day and a half later, leaves me a voicemail, and I'm back to square one. We've made zero progress. So then I do the whole thing again. We have this customer that does healthcare stuff, and they were saying that it takes, on average, 17 phone calls to schedule an MRI. So these surgeries are even more complicated, and the value of what you get by filling that surgical hour is thousands of dollars.
It's the one thing they want you to do.
It's the one thing they want.
And they can't do it.
So that's going to be an awesome use case. We're already working with them, and that's working really well. So there's going to be really good use cases today that can be handled agentically. And by the way, today's as bad as the AI is ever going to be. It's only going to get smarter.
Forrester states that specialized language models are the gateway to agentic AI, but 3 out of 4 companies that built their own agentic architecture fail. Was the biggest barrier in 2025 the agentic design or the lack of AI-ready data to feed those autonomous agents?
Hey, that's an awesome question. Since you're the CTO, I think you should be the one to answer that one.
I think the problem is, this is the same thing with your agentic, the vaporware so far with agentic a little bit. Everyone saw the potential with ChatGPT. I mean, it really was started with ChatGPT, but anything, right? Any large language model, it started with ChatGPT, and everyone thought, oh my God, this could totally automate this thing. Right. I can ask it questions. It seems to give me good answers. And then
the answers do sound good, whether they're accurate or not. They sound good.
It is the thing that it was a massive breakthrough. It really was. And then they take this thing and it's like, hey, what could we do with this? It feels like this has pretty good reasoning. Mm-hmm. Let's get it on tasks that are very manual or human driven. Let's try to automate them. And they go, and a lot of them are actually, it's not even startups yet. It is a lot of companies themselves trying this. Mm-hmm. You're seeing building a lot out there. They're like, because the SaaS products weren't really ready yet, as you've said. It was, they started trying it themselves because they actually thought it was that easy too. Right. They thought, great, I don't need anything.
That's what everyone said.
I don't need SaaS.
Right.
I've got ChatGPT. It can automate things. It can code for me. And they all started doing it. And then the second they started doing it, they realized on an initial look at it, it seems to do okay. But at scale and all the different random use cases that can happen, it starts to break down because the LLM can only do so much. And it goes from having, it seems to be able to handle some use cases, but the second it gets anything outside the norm, it starts to hallucinate. It starts to go on tangents. And, we've talked about it a lot that people forget that the LLM is maybe fairly accurate for your first question.
Right.
But when you compound it with now it needs to do this thing next, then this thing next, then this thing next. Right. Every single turn, it multiplies itself. Right. It's like flipping
the compounding effects of
it's like
inaccuracy.
It's like flipping a coin, and tails 50%, but every time you flip it again to get tails again and again, it just compounds on itself.
Yeah. So
And that's the same thing with all this agentic stuff. They went from, I ask it one thing and it seems great, but when you compound it with agentic, there's so many things else you need to worry about.
yeah. So even if it's 90%, gets it right 90% of the time, if it has to do 5 separate tasks at 90% of the time, you're going to end up with a overall accuracy of what? You're the mathematician, but around
Not
50%.
good. Not good.
Right?
Not good for a
Maybe
business.
60%,
Not good for a
but-
business making decisions that need to be 100% accurate.
Right. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But I think that does make a ton of sense as to why there have been these missed expectations.
Yeah, and I think people are realizing there's so much more to make the AI work
Right.
in a real business. And we have, and anyone going into agentic realizes this very quickly, that so much of what makes it successful isn't the ChatGPT, the large language model.
Right.
Pick anyone. They're not all going to be terrible out of the box. It's going to be all the things on top of that, like guardrails, testing, evaluations.
Right.
These are things that AI doesn't solve for you that need to be productized.
Right.
And you can talk to anyone out there and they'll still tell you the best product is going to win.
Right.
And it's not just throw AI at it and it's magical. Like, and anyone building anything right now, even with AI, knows it is the thing that is making things better, but you still need all that amazing product and guardrails and testing and scalability around the whole thing.
I love the idea of being able to take a ton of prior customer support tickets, recorded calls, transcripts, what have you, and then and they've been handled by humans, so they've been effectively taken care of already. And then you can take those, run it through basically a agentic simulator of like, here's the skills and the agent that we built, and let's compare the results to that action versus the humans. And before you ever think about turning it on, you could be like, okay, this was way better than the humans, or this was a little better than the humans, or this was as good as the humans. And now you can refine the prompts, and keep testing it until it gets to a point where you're like, okay, it is worth it to go this route. I'm going to free these people up to go work on more important things, more complex matters. And I can prove it to myself before ever turning it on and having the risk of the I Love Lucy situation. I just know it's going to work. And and when you get to the best product wins, that's it. Like at the end of the day, a lot of companies are going to have a lot of the same opportunities to have the same ingredients. We were talking about this earlier today about A1 steak sauce.
Yeah.
But it's like how you mix them, how you use them, how can you do it at scale, and what are the things you put around it to make it a great product is really going to define.
Yeah, 90% of the work is not even
It's
the
not the
AI
LLM or
when
the
it comes
AI,
down to it. Gartner predicts the focus is shifting to delivering agentic AI ROI in 2026. What does that agentic ROI look like in the contact center? And is it simply cost or something else?
It's going to be one of the most impressive years for contact center improvement. So one, if you realize there's so many things that you could just handle. And if we've have the benefit of being able to go and look at ticket volumes and topics and what's repeatable and what could be solved by Agentic. If you realize, look, you knock out the lowest hanging fruit or the highest volume of issues, they're generally not the single most complex things. They're generally the most repeatable, simpler things. So if you can take out 50% of the volume and then have your agents focus on the other 50% that is really complicated, have the Agentic handle this and handle it on the first ring, handle it on the first, like as soon as you hit enter in a chat, it doesn't say you're number 62 in the queue.
Yeah.
It just instantly answers, solves your problem 24 hours a day. Man, it's not just I now have saved a lot on not needing as many support agents. I have just increased my customer satisfaction, first touch resolution rate, speed to resolution. All those things go into what creates the customer satisfaction score. Happier customers don't churn. Happier customers buy more from you. And I think like it's one of those things I was thinking about. You'll end up getting to a point where, when a lot of people are picking like airline flights, they look for the lowest cost or the fastest route.
Yeah.
if you gave me an option between Starlink on a plane and just hit or miss Wi-Fi, I think that would be now one of my highest criteria.
I just had that experience.
I'd go for the Starlink.
I literally took Alaska
Yeah, and they had it.
to one direction
Yeah.
and took Southwest back. And Alaska had it.
And it was just amazing.
And it was
right?
amazing. And
It was
on the way
amazing.
back, I couldn't do anything.
It was amazing. And
Couldn't
then,
do anything with the onboard Wi-Fi, but Starlink was flawless. It was like I was in my house.
well, think of it this way. So then what if we get to the point where you're choosing companies you buy from or get services from, not just on the price and what it is they sell you, but your ability to actually get it done and deal with it without having to go through the legacy world of pressing a bunch of buttons, waiting, talking to humans, repeating things. Like it feels like it's such a dying way to get things done. And I think consumers will vote with it's not just cost. You know, like Amazon's got great cost, but you know what else it has? Incredible delivery. It shows up instantly. You can return it if it doesn't work. Like there's a lot more that goes into it. So I think you'll see the companies that don't adopt it and don't adopt it well, not only are they going to have worse bottom line, they're going to have lower customer satisfaction, higher churn rates, all those types of things.
Yeah, because we talked about it. So like people who need this agentic contact center, there's a lot of, controversy that somehow it's all about cost saving. Like you're going to need less people, but it's also, we talk about that this is a better end customer experience.
Right.
Like it's good for everyone. The human agents are they able to have better conversations, more important conversations, and the customer is so much happier because they're not on hold for 15 minutes.
Right.
Which we just looked at the analysis from all of our data. The customer satisfaction drops 50% when you're on hold for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like that is no longer an issue. Your churn goes down, your sales go up.
The single trick though is it has to work, and it has
to work.
Hey, but I hate to say it,
this year.
Petey.
Yeah.
We're going to leave on that one.
Yeah.
We got to go bounce to this call. Thanks, guys.